Now, we've come up with a name for this condition. It's called Romnesia. We had a severe outbreak last night. It was at least stage 3 Romnesia. And I just want to go over with you some of the symptoms, Del Rey, because I want to make sure nobody in the surrounding area catches it. If you say that you love American cars during a debate, but you wrote an article titled, "Let Detroit Go Bankrupt," you might have Romnesia. If you talk about how much you love teachers during a debate, but said just a few weeks ago that we shouldn't hire any more because they won't grow the economy, what do you have? I bet you've got some Romnesia. If you say you love Medicare, and by the way, there's a theme here. He keeps on loving stuff and then wants to end it or cut it or not help it. But if you say that you love Medicare, but your plan turns it into a voucher that ends the guaranteed benefit of Medicare, you definitely have Romnesia. So I mean, we're breaking down the symptoms here. If you've come down with a case of Romnesia, if you can't seem to remember the policies on your website or the promises that you've been making over the 6 years that you've been running for president, if you can't even remember what you said last week, don't worry. Obamacare covers pre-existing conditions. We can fix you up. We can cure this disease. His jobs plan doesn't really create jobs. His deficit plan doesn't reduce the deficit. It adds to it. His foreign policies from the 1980s. His social policies from the 1950s. His economic policies are from the 1920s. So everything he's doing right now is to hide his real positions and try to win this election. He wants to just spend all his time and focus on telling people what he thinks is wrong with America. I mean, if you notice, in his debates, in his speeches, he is really excellent at listing all the things that are wrong. He can just go over it, verbatim. Just boom, 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 boom. PowerPoint presentation. But you know what? That's not leadership that you can trust. And Florida, you know me. You can trust that I say what I mean. And I mean what I say. We said, thanks, Governor. I know you've got all this private sector experience, but your advice isn't going to work this time. And today, the American auto industry's engines are roaring at full throttle again. I said that I would make sure that nobody in America goes bankrupt when they get sick, and we delivered on that promise. I said I'd make college more affordable for our young people, and we delivered on that promise. I do what I say. You've seen me. We're not yet where we need to be, but we've made real progress. And now we need to build on that progress. And Florida, that's why I'm running for a second term as President of the United States of America. That's why I'm running. In this campaign, I've laid out a plan for jobs and middle-class security. And unlike Mitt Romney, I'm actually proud to talk about what's in it. Because my plan actually will move America forward. And by the way, the math in my plan adds up. If we've got any math teachers out there, you can go ahead and look in this plan, and you'll see that the numbers work. I won't be running the okey-doke on you. By the way, I just want to point out, in the same way that Governor Romney didn't mention the Afghan war or our troops in his convention speech, Governor Romney didn't even mention our veterans last night. Don't boo, vote. He didn't say a word about it. Now, he may write off half the country as victims behind closed doors, but the men and women and their families who have served this country so bravely, they deserve better from somebody who's applying to be commander-in-chief. And now it's up to you to choose the path we take from here. Starting on Saturday, Florida, you can choose the top-down policies that got us into this mess, or you can choose the policies we're using to get us out of this mess. You can choose a foreign policy that's reckless and wrong, or you can choose one that is steady and strong. You can choose to turn back the clock 50 years for immigrants and gays and women, or in this election, you can decide we will remain an inclusive, generous country where no matter who you are, or what you look like, or where you come from, or who you love, you can make it if you try. You've got a place in the American family. That's what's at stake right now. We can go back, or we can choose to move forward, to focus on the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century, to work together as one nation, as one people, to make it another American century. That's the kind of president I've been, Florida. That's the kind of president I intend to be.